Hi, good morning. My name is Samantha Ernst. For those of you who don't know me, I am a 29-year-old mother of 3 kids under the age of 4. I am a business attorney. My husband is a resident doctor. And I want to tell you about my crazy past couple months. So on March 4th, 2021, I, at the time, had a 4-month-old baby. I had been back from maternity leave, so I was working at my law firm. I woke up early in the morning and I needed to pump. My daughter had slept through the night, and I really needed to pump. I don't know if any of you can relate. There's just times that you sleep a little bit too long, or you've just gone without pumping and you need to pump. And so, I was used to like the sweats, the kind of nauseous feeling that comes with being engorged, and I just needed my breast pump. That's how I woke up on March 4th. My first thought was, where is my breast pump? I have got to pump. And I, rolled out of bed, had to go get my breast pump. Didn't want to wake the sleeping baby, went downstairs, and I just really needed to pump. And I got to the kitchen sink and I grabbed my breast pump, and that's the last thing I remember, was grabbing a pump part at the kitchen sink. And then the next thing I remember was waking up 5 to 7 feet away on my kitchen floor, staring at the ceiling, just covered in breast milk and sweat and looking up at the ceiling. And when I came to consciousness, I had to find my breast pump, found my breast pump, pumped, tried to figure out what had just happened. And, my husband was already at the hospital. My 3 kids under the age of 4 were all asleep upstairs. So I was alone in my house. I had blacked out. There's like 5 to 7 feet of distance. That's a complete black hole. Thankfully, one of my best friends lives right down the street, and she was at my house in 30 seconds when I called her. She's a registered nurse, just true, a guardian angel in the flesh for this season of life for me. And she came and made sure that I was okay and stable, and she's the one who eventually took me to the emergency room that day as I was, getting all the, I don't know if you've ever had anyone with a brain injury, like a mild concussion or something, but sensitive to light and noise. And I was just in rapid decline. And she was like, we need to go to the emergency room. So she took me there. They were, of course, worried. This 28-year-old mom just lost consciousness. They did all the heart workup, which, I had to follow up for a couple months after to see, did I have a seizure? They wanted to know, did you have a stroke? What happened? Thankfully, praise God, my heart is fine. We really, doctors, I've seen many doctors, and It kind of sounds like maybe it was like the perfect combination of like a blood sugar, blood pressure, dip, early morning, something that happened to me. But I guess the crazy part of this whole thing is when I had my brain injury on that March 4th day, it was like my brain was on top of a mountain and someone threw my brain off the mountain. I was functioning at a really high level that morning. I was reading, I could read a 100-page contract. I could whip out some analysis, could, send another email. I could manage my kids. I could do all of these things all at once really well. I was very highly functioning. And then my brain hit rock bottom. Talk about the most humbling experience of my life. It was hard to function. I had to just worry about keeping myself alive and my kids alive. My peripheral vision was gone. The first couple weeks, if I had to get in the car, none of my kids were allowed in the car. I would only go somewhere out of absolute necessity. My brain couldn't make decisions. Red light, green light. My brain was just like, no, I can't make this decision. If I didn't know where I was going, I couldn't go because I would pull over sobbing my eyes out. There's a lot to unpack. I can tell you all about it. But I went from, reading 100-page contracts, not being able to read, to now I'm still recovering. Kind of had a little bit of a miracle in the past 2 weeks. I was having so I can tell you all about what happened, but long story short, we moved into a new house, we renovated a house, and it was dusty. And we moved into this house, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of dust. I'm kind of having a little trouble breathing. And so I was like, oh, I got to get my air vents blown out. I was like, man, I'm really struggling breathing. My COVID test was negative. So it has to be the dust. And we just had to figure out, like, all right, let's get it less dusty. What can I do for me? My wonderful aunt was like, I need you to go get an oxygen treatment. Just get your lungs better. And so I went and got this hyperbaric oxygen treatment. And it was great for my lungs. And she bought me a pack of 10 of them. They're expensive. She's amazing. Come to find out that hyperbaric oxygen treatments are used to reverse brain damage, to heal traumatic brain injuries. And so for the past 2 weeks, I'm starting to feel more like myself again. Things are starting to become clearer. Side effects that had been lingering for months. I haven't been back at my job yet. Are starting to get better. And so I think that's what brings me here today, talking to y'all, is that I'm starting to get a little bit better to the point where I'm ready to start talking about what happened to me. And so I'm sure this was very jumbled, and hopefully it can get better. But if you're interested at all, would like to share what happened over the past 5-6 months, and just kind of share that journey with you, to bring you in. So I would just love to have you as I'm climbing the mountain. You know, my brain fell off of a mountain. The first couple months, it was like I was trying to climb up that same mountain. And it was so steep. And I kept getting rocked. But now, I think there's a different mountain to climb. I think I can still get to that same point that I was at before, but it's going to be a different mountain with an entirely different view. And that, I guess, is the journey that I want to invite you on, to come climb with me, because I could definitely use the support, and climbing's always better. Anything's always better when you don't have to do it alone. So, thanks for sharing this journey with me.